Hi guys, this is Matt here from Every Nation Melbourne. So in the previous video, I gave you a basic overview of how I put together this multicam worship experience using Studio One and Davinci Resolve. I have had a few requests come back and ask me to explain a little bit more about using Davinci Resolve and putting all that final product together. So this video will hopefully be going in with a little bit more detail. Now, I need to say right off the bat that I am far from a professional video guy. Audio is my thing. But I had to kind of just figure out how to use this stuff. And this is the method that I found works for me. Hopefully, it can help some of you guys get started. And if anyone else has any tips or better ways of doing this, please feel free to let me know and share that knowledge. This is really all about us helping each other and helping to grow and learn these different technologies and stuff. So start off right from the very beginning, shall we? Davinci Resolve, completely free. Download it. Don't get Davinci Resolve Studio. That is the paid version. You will have a trial limit and then it will cut itself off. Davinci Resolve is perfectly adequate for almost everything you're going to be doing, unless you want to be working only in 4K or in collaboration with teams. Or do motion blur effects and that kind of stuff, you really don't need Davinci Resolve Studio. You can just get away with the free one. And if you want to get the paid one, it's not a lot of money comparatively to other products. So this is the basic window that you're going to be looking at. Now, there are a couple of tabs at the bottom here. And the way Davinci Resolve works is you basically work from a left to right workflow. So you start in media, work your way across. Now you can pretty much ignore a bunch of these. Fusion and color, you really don't need to look at. Color is color grading. Davinci Resolve is pretty much the industry standard when it comes to film color grading. But it's quite an advanced topic, so we won't touch any of that. We won't do any of that right now. So just start all the way over here on the left for media. Now I have all my audio and video files put into one folder, organized so it's easy to find. I highly suggest you do that and don't just go putting it everywhere around your desktop. So what I'm going to start off with firstly is the audio. Now these three waveforms over here are the mastered audio tracks that I did in Studio One. So that's really all the audio I need. So I'm going to just take this file and drag it into here. Then I move across to my video. I've got different things here. You can see I'm going to start with the acoustic. You can see I've got two different acoustics. There's one with a capo, one without a capo. So I'm going to drag this one in. I think the way I mixed it was I had the one without a capo on the left side. So just for continuity, I'm going to put that in order so I know what's happening. Back to the video, we go keys. And you're just going to go through and do all of this. These vocals. These ones actually did two. I believe it was this take was the one. So I'm going to drag that one in. Carla's video. And Ceci's video. Death was arrested. Beautiful. So that's all I need. Those videos and the audio. Now I skip ahead. You can use either cut or edit. I like to use edit. I find I have a little bit more control. So let's do that. So the very first thing I'm going to do is take the audio and drag it in. Move it up here. If you hold down Alt with the scroll wheel on your mouse, you can zoom in and out. At least on Windows you can. It's very useful, quick getting around. The audio is here. I'm just going to rename it. This is my main audio. And then this little lock icon, I'm going to lock it. Now I can't do anything to that. If you play it back. I'm a prisoner no more. My shame was a ransom you faithfully bore. Perfect. Everything's working fine. Obviously no video yet. So I'm going to start with the acoustics. I like to just do it in the order that I put it in. So the first acoustic is here. All right, now immediately you can see, hang on a second, this video and the audio is longer than the original one. That's because I did a couple of takes trying to get it right, trying to get the sound right, the position of the camera, all that kind of stuff. But as you can see, this waveform from here all the way to here really kind of match up pretty well with this one. So what I'm going to do is immediately just go here and trim. By the way, if you find that this locks, I think by default, it has this little snap icon on, and this will basically snap. So if I go anywhere, you'll see it suddenly jumps, which is really annoying when you're trying to be precise. So I just turn that off. I'm going to put that about there. I'm going to put this about here. You can actually see as you're scrolling through what's happening. So that's probably about where I want to fade out. Great. Drag this up. Now, wherever you put this playhead is where you're going to zoom in. So I'm going to put it about there. And we're just going to scroll in. Right. Kind of match it up. There's the intro for the song. If you want to make it bigger, you can take a look there. Now I'm going to match this up as best as possible. Let's take a listen to what that sounds like. Not bad. It's not bad at all. So if you want to be really precise, just zoom in all the way. And you can see. Now what's going to happen though is if I move this over, see how that jumps, because it goes by frame. So I've already worked out that this frame position is actually going to be about right. It's about half a frame out, but honestly in the mix you're not going to notice it. No one's going to sit there frame checking. So what I do is I just fade that in, and then if you do this will fade it in. Video, let's mute that for now. And that's how you do a fade in. It's so simple. I like to do a fade in for every single track, just so it's a little bit more natural. So let's go with that. I've muted this audio, but I'm going to keep it here just for now so we can see what's happening. Now, I chose this song specifically because I've done a bunch of other edits in the audio. You can see that these don't match up anymore. Now, yours should match up perfectly, unless you've done some crazy edits in Studio One. For me, I did some crazy edits in Studio One. I just wanted to do basically a fade out and hold that last chord a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just simply come right over here. And I'm going to go select this tool. You can also hold down B, I believe. Yep, blade edit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, so you can actually scroll through. I hit the last chord. And I'm going to cut right there. Then I'm just going to go back to my selection tool. I'm going to shift that up again. And once again, just scroll in a little bit here. What does this sound like? But then Jesus. Right. So the wrong spot. Shift it up more there. But then Jesus arose without freedom. Yeah, it's pretty close. I could probably be a little bit more accurate with it, but that's really close. Now, I didn't want any of that before. So I'm just going to go like that. And now it should just come in straight away. But then Jesus arose without freedom. Perfect. And now we just take a listen to the end. 100% fine. I'm going to do a fade out. Ta-da. One video is done. So that was quite a bit of work. But like I said, for most of you, you're not going to be doing extra edits in your audio like I did here. If you just match up the beginning, it should work its way all the way to the end. And Davinci is really clever like that. It actually just matches up frame and frame rates. So, yeah. So now we're going to go to the next one. Now, let's do this. I'm going to take the next video. Now, if I just drag it right here, it's going to replace it. You don't want to do that. You want to create a whole new video track. So I'm going to go right here. And if you put it at the top, No, actually, see it's doing that. But wait, before I do that, I'm going to lock this. So it's forcing it to create a new audio track. There we go. Also, if I want to label this, I can go acoustic low. This one will be acoustic high. Right, now a very similar thing has happened here. Not as much though. So I can immediately see the waveform. I'm going to go pretty quickly through these next couple of ones, but just you can follow through if you want to. I can see what's happening in this one. So I'm going to bring this close to here. We're going to match up those. Now that you have your first track, it's a little bit easier with the second. That looks almost a perfect match. Like a third of a frame difference. You're really not going to notice that. So what I can do now is actually turn on that locking function and snap this video to the same as that one. Do the same kind of fade in. Now it should.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope with no place to begin.
Yep, that works.
You have made us new now.
We're going to go here.
Our Savior displayed on a criminal's cross. In darkness rejoiced as though heaven had lost.
Right. Once again, same thing. Quick little cut right here. Move it back across. Let's do a little bit of a lock back to this one. I'm going to fade that one out, fade that one out. And then we're going to match up this audio. All right, turn the locking. See, that snapped. That was just annoying. It's a little bit early, actually, but let's see what it looks like.
Then Jesus arose without freedom in hand.
Yeah, that's totally acceptable. We can be really pedantic about this, or we can just get on with the job. So what I'm going to do, now I am going to snap it, because I want them all to come at the same time. Turn snap off again. Now it should be.
But then Jesus arose without freedom.
Perfect.
When death was arrested, my life began.
Now, I could fade this out, bring this out a bit more. You can see, actually, my wife is walking in the background there. So I'm going to cut that out there. And just fade it out. Right. Let's just carry on with all these other videos for now. Keys. Lock this. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get rid of these because they're just in the way right now. This is where a larger monitor helps. My one is in for repairs, so that's not really helping me. Okay, so we're going to go back here. Death has arrested the keyboard. You see it's created a new track. Now, Derek's keys. This is just the video audio, so let's take a listen to it. And you got nothing. But the cool thing is, he's playing in time, so you could just match it up. So if I watch this first video here, That's the first knock. Now I know that that comes in the first chord here. And I'm going to knock that in. How does this look? Pretty good. That works. So once again, quick fade in. Right, once again here. That's his downbeat. Split it there. All right, let's see what that looks like.
Nothing Jesus a rose without freedom in hell. That's when death was arrested.
Not bad. Yeah, I reckon that's probably the best I'm going to get it. Now, once again, just do a lock there. And at the very end. This one I'm going to lock to the end of the track because he holds it. Let's take a look what he's doing. So he fades out. And then he's just moving things and playing with his, even though his keyboard's ringing out. So we don't want that. That's just distracting, right? No knock on him. He doesn't need to be playing. The keyboard's ringing out. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to fade that out about there. Perfect. Right. Next one. Let's go to the vocals. I can actually delete this audio now. All right. Let's see. How does this audio match up?
Alone in my sorrow and death.
So right about there is the spot that I wanted to match up with. It's pretty close.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin.
That's pretty straightforward. That actually matches perfectly. Let's take a listen.
You have made us new now.
It's a little bit ahead. Let's check that out.
Alone, alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin.
That's better. Perfect. Excited look. Let's do a cut right there. What we're going to do is...
In darkness rejoiced as though heaven had lost.
all good. Now this one we want to match up with here because this is actually the singing part.
But then Jesus arose without freedom in hell.
That's not bad. I can live with that. So quick little fade once again.
But then Jesus arose without...
All good. Keep scrolling too far. I need to learn the shortcuts in this program. Really, I do. Let's go about there. We can fade out there. No problem. Perfect. Call this one. So just be very careful that you don't just drag it on top of that. If you want to, make sure, just do the lock. on all of these. We'll go back and unlock it in a second because we still have to edit it a little bit. So Carla started singing.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin. Lost without hope, with no place to begin. As though heaven had lost.
Great. So that seems to match up perfectly. So she actually doesn't sing in the first bit. I changed that. So what I'm going to do is just turn the snap off for now. I believe she comes in the second verse.
Ash was redeemed.
Yep, there she is. So I'm going to...
Ash was redeemed. Only you.
Perfect. Let's take a look over here. I believe I also cut out... That'll work. Now, this one's a little tricky because she sings the first bit, which is fine.
But then Jesus arose.
Much better. So what I'm going to do here is be quite precise and turn on the snap, and we're going to bring her in the exact same time as the acoustic.
But then Jesus arose without freedom.
Perfect. Let's go back here again. Let's end like that. We'll do a slow fade out. Great. And finally, Ceci. Let's bring him in. It'll create its new thing. Right, his one is pretty straightforward too, it looks like. I can kind of match it up already.
Alone in my sorrow.
So I think I actually only mixed him in the chorus.
Oh, your grace.
Let's do a nice fade in, shall we?
Oh, your grace. So free. Washes over me.
Perfect. So same thing, I wanted it to fade out there. So let's go snap and snap him to Carla. That works. That's better. That is better. Perfect. Right, so now we have all the main tracks here. I'm going to move the audio out of the way because we don't really need it. Everything is faded in. But now we have the problem. All of these video clips are on top of each other. And the way that Davinci Resolve works is whatever is on top, it has priority. So right now, if I play this clip, all you're going to see is Ceci, which is great. We love Ceci, but not conducive to the video. So this is how you do it. Very simple. You're going to start anywhere you want. You need to unlock it. And I really probably should have done this before I cut up the clip, but I wanted to show you the basic process of syncing it up. What you need to do here is go select that. In fact, I'm going to go unlock all of these video clips now. Yeah. And what I can just do with Ceci's, let's go like that, and here's there. I just need to go one clip at a time. And now I can just do this. And you can see I can do that. I can turn him around. Super useful if you need to do stuff. Then what I can do here, this is the transform tool. I can go to crop. And what I can do is just bring this in. If you keep holding crop at that point, it'll actually just move around with the clip. So what I like to do is just transform again. There we are. I'm going to crop it a bit more. Something like that. So it's more of a portrait style thing. There we are. That looks pretty good. I can even do this. Like that. Go back to transform. I'm going to move him back up here. Unlock the color clip. I'm going to do the same thing. You'll see Davinci Resolve is actually really clever. It's added those black bars on the side, and hers is already a clip like that. Very, very easy to edit. We'll go to this one. Remember, you got to select the right one. Once you've selected the clip, you can bring it in. I'm going to crop that one in a bit too. Too much distracting stuff on the side. Something like that. So we're just going to very roughly place these wherever we want. You can be very specific. If you have a clip selected, you open up Inspector on the side over here, and you can position it wherever you want. You can be very specific about it. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to be working with this over here. So we're going to go bring this in. There's the keys. I might just crop him a little bit too. He never plays in the higher register or those super low notes. So you'll be able to see him playing the rest of the time too. Also like actually cropping some of this because you don't need to see the whole computer. And that will allow me to make him a bit bigger. There we are. The acoustic track. This one is on the right. Like so. And the other acoustic track. You don't need to be able to see the whole thing. That's okay with me. I could really be precise about this and stuff, but this video is already far too long. So I'm going to keep it as short as possible. Right. So now, if I go back to here, because we've done all those fade-ins and stuff, you will see this happen.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope, with no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come.
We go ahead here to where Carl is.
Ash was redeemed, oh,
And there she is. And we'll go ahead to where Ceci is.
oh, your grace, so free, washes all.
And that's basically it. Now, I'll have to go back and redo these particular ones. So that was just my editing. My editing workflow should have been positioning first and then chop up the clips. Because then these secondary clips here will keep the same attributes as what I've done over here. But that's also easy enough to match. I can go with this. So for instance, let's go to the keyboard, shall we? So I've selected this clip, click inspector. This is the zoom settings and the position settings. And I can literally go copy that, click on this clip, paste, and enter. Now you'll see it's there. I can go here, position, copy, paste, enter. Copy, paste, enter. And now you'll see when I get, or you won't see it now properly, but basically you can see the box where it would be. That keyboard is in the right position as it was over here. It needs to be cropped a little bit too, which you need to crop. I still need to figure out how to actually do that. Copy the cropping settings across. But anyway, and that's how you do it. And now it should be able to, if you do a fade out on all of them. And that's it. So that's how you work with the edit. Now, I won't go through all of the extra stuff here. Like I said, you can ignore Fusion, ignore color. Fairlight is a really powerful audio mixing software. You can add your own plugins over here. Like I said, I don't need to do that. I need to unlock it first. But I can add so much stuff. All these extra VSTs. You really don't need to do that. If you've done a good job with your audio before, you're 100% fine. Then the final page, I need to go to deliver. I'm going to make sure that it renders the entire timeline, not just the in and out range. It's something different. You can set that differently. That's your in and out range here. But I want to go entire timeline. Then the settings I use, very, very simple. I just go YouTube 1080p. I type the file name. I choose a location for it. Let's just put it there for now. And these settings I just leave as is. Main stereo audio, I make sure obviously there's only one track coming through there. Everything else is deleted or muted. I had hit add to render queue. You can see it right here. And then I literally click start render. Now something like this, maybe 8-9 minutes, depending on the speed of your computer. If you have an older computer or specifically a computer without a graphics card, it might take a little longer, but you can go have a coffee, come back, it'll be done. And then that's it. You can upload that and that'll be your clip. So I hope that's really been a help to you guys. Like I said, I'm still learning a lot. This is the way I figured it out. So I'm sure there's probably better ways of doing things that the way I've done things here. But I hope it helped some of you. And bless you guys. Cheers.